Michael, as always, thanks for joining us pre-match. Just your final reflections on the weekend's game against Falkirk. What was the lessons learned when you look back at it?
I think the lessons learned, and it's something I touched on after the game, was in the final third, and after watching the game back, I feel like we got in good positions and good areas, and maybe didn't pick the right pass or final execution to go and really properly hit Falkirk. So it's something that we've been big on this week. Especially going to face your neighbours and Raith Rovers as well. That once we're in the areas, can we go and really be on the front foot to go and hurt teams, and our decision making needs to be clearer. Have a clearer picture before the ball comes, and really try and be ruthless round about the final third. So that's something we touched on as a group, something we've spoke about all week, and it's something I want to try and see going into the game on Friday.
What are you expecting from Raith Rovers on Friday evening?
That's a good side. I know a lot of their players. I know the way they play, and if it sounds disrespectful, they've probably had a wee bit of up and down season as well. And it's important for us that we can go there, and one of my first games here, we managed to beat them, and it wasn't a great game of football, but we managed to get the bragging rights that day. It'll be no different this week. We'll go and try and play, and try and cause them problems, but always be aware of the threats that they cause, because as I say, they're individually very good, and collectively they've got they can hurt you in certain areas of the pitch. So being prepared for that, and it's important, as I say, that I back my lads and try and give them belief to go and start on the front foot and go and hurt Raith.
Again, earlier on this week, you were able to get guys minutes in the reserves. A quite resounding scoreline, 11-0. Could you take a lot out of that game for the first team players and the youngsters that were involved?
I think it's very difficult because it was a very young Queen of the South side. In terms of the first team lads that were playing, it was important that I try to get them some minutes. And again, with the way the game went and the scoreline, it was pretty easy, and the game's not really played at a decent tempo as it usually probably would be. So it was difficult to kind of take a lot away. Important boys got minutes, but then in terms of the younger ones, in terms of your Freddie Rose and your Todds, and it was important that I go to see them. Lucas Fife as well. So they're all impressed, and it was very comfortable towards the end. But I still seen a lot of rotations, a lot of quality that I've asked, in terms of first team down to reserves. So yeah, a pleasing day all round. But the one that it's difficult to really judge, because the game was we kind of dominated it for larger spells without really being threatened.
The club have had a couple of international call-ups over the last week or so. Tommy Fogarty for Northern Ireland under-21s, and Jeremiah Shelko-Mullen as well for Scotland under-21s. On one hand, you must be really pleased that they've got that recognition, but on the other hand, it'll give you a bit of a defensive headache going into the Livingston match in a couple of weeks' time. Yeah,
no, definitely. I think your own Hampson as well. He's been called up with Wales as well. So again, it's a feather in the cap for these lads, because I've said it before, it's they're playing for their countries, irrespective of whether it's under 16s or whether it's the full national team. So really proud and pleased to the lads to get called up. Again, it probably leaves us in a wee bit light in certain areas, but again, it's hard because they're getting called up for the national side, so you never want to stand in Andy's way, and we'll just cross that bridge when we come to it. But really pleased for them, and hopefully they can go away and do themselves and their family proud in terms of the 21 call-ups.
In terms of Jeremiah, he's came in, hit the ground running. I think he's played near enough every minute under yourself. He was also voted the fans player of the month for February as well. So recognition from the supporters in the stands as well. You must be really pleased with how he's got to grips with life here at Dunfermline Athletic really quickly.
Yeah, no, he's somebody we identified and want to bring into the building. And he's been first class, to be fair, since he came in. He hadn't played a lot of football, but it was important that we try to manage him, but we knew his qualities within what we were looking for in that area. And as you say, he's not really put a foot wrong. Again, I'm just trying to keep on top of him in terms of his standards and where he needs to be every single week. But he's been first class, and as you say, he's getting recognition from the fans here at the club, and then obviously with Scotland 21s. I know he's been in a few squads before, but they'll be looking and seeing him playing regularly in a very good league. So again, it's a shot in the arm for him, and hopefully he can go away and do his country proud.
In terms of squad availability for Friday, how's Andrew Raymond? He went off on Saturday, and is there any other team news to update us on?
No, he's struggling a wee bit in terms of Andrew Raymond. He took a knock. Excuse me. He took a knock, and he's not really trained this week, so he's one that will probably not be available. Trying to think, Connor Young's another one. You know, felt a wee bit of tightness around about the thigh area. Again, we'll monitor that tomorrow and see where we're at with that. But other than that, it's your Kane Richie Hoslers, Matty Todd's, Michael Harden done a bit today, so he could be involved for Friday. So yeah, we seem to get one or two back and then one or two out. So I think it's unfortunate, it is what it is. But you know, we'll go with the squad we've got with for Friday, and as I say, hopefully can go and try and put in a good performance. You know, off the back of a indifferent performance at Falkirk, and ultimately go and try and take the game to Raith Rovers.